Isiah Factor Uncensored starts now. Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We have a lot coming your way tonight, including former exotic dancers and current midnight ballerinas. We'll explain what that is, so stick around. But first, we kick off tonight with some hot topics. It includes investigation into the disappearance of journalist Isiah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. TMZ says they received an alleged ransom note demanding payment for Nancy's release, the note demanding millions in Bitcoin. Plus, former First Lady Jill Biden's ex-husband is facing first-degree murder charges in connection to the death of his wife. Plus, a new lawsuit alleges Diddy raped a male escort back in 2012. And according to the lawsuit, Combs is accused of telling the victim to keep his mouth shut about what happened, or else he would have him murdered like Tupac. A lot to get to tonight, and of course our guests are here on The Factor Uncensored to discuss it with us. Joining us now, publicist Brigitte Waugh, media personality Nate, and podcast guy Adam Nelson. I turned you just to a guy.
Yeah, I see that.
But that's good enough right there, Adam. All right. Nate,
yes,
Diddy.
sir.
We're hearing about Diddy again. We thought we were done with Diddy.
No, y'all thought y'all was done with Diddy. Diddy's not done until he's done.
Right.
Okay, this
Yes.
latest allegation, your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I mean, it could be true. We won't know until more is revealed. Unfortunately, you know, when people have fame and money, there are a lot of threats that happen behind the scenes. I've been threatened before, especially when I was doing hot topics, asking questions. You know, sometimes people don't like, okay, I've been through it. So, and, you know, I've had security for a whole year before. A lot of people don't know that, like while I was doing radio here in Houston. So I believe that it could have happened, and you know, unfortunately people don't take men's sexual assault that seriously. It's usually a joke. So it's like, you know, in the early aughts it was always a joke. You know, you bring up Fleece, you bring up all kind of people, but now it's like, wow, this is serious and unfortunate.
All right, Adam, your thoughts about this? I don't even see a shock factor from you guys where now this guy is accusing Diddy of Diddy.
Yeah,
Right. Well, again, it's alleged. You know, again, like Nate said, I think that it's a money ply. I think somebody wants money. Because why? Now he came out with this information, what, 10 years, whenever this happened. Why are you talking about this now? So now, when it comes to the sexual assault, yes, I believe sexual assault is very serious when it comes to a female or male. But we don't take it as serious because, you know, it's a man. Especially if a man is 6'2" and 250 pounds, it's like, really, how did you get sexually assaulted? But it happens. So, but I think it's a money ply. So.
All right, Brigitte, let's talk to you. What about what he just mentioned, Adam, saying men are more than or less than willing to come forward because they are male?
Yeah, that's the truth, because women, it's more of a sympathy thing because we can relate to women, but when something happens to a man, you know, like Adam said, you're 6'2", 250 pounds, how did another man force you? So then it's like, well, is it a money plot, or were you really afraid for your life? So you have to take those things into consideration as well, because it does happen.
All right, let's get to Isiah Guthrie's mother, kidnapped out of Arizona, senior citizen Nancy. Your thoughts about that, Nate?
It's scary and it's frightening, and you know, from the latest I saw that police think it could involve the fact that her daughter is a national you know, journalist. They're not sure yet. It's scary. I definitely moved back to Houston to be with my mom, you know, because she is older. She's great, Sprite, you know, can run circles around us, but it's just very, very concerning for me.
All right, Adam?
Yeah, I think it's very sad, you know, especially at her age. But like you said, it's through a ransom, and it's sad because they always say the people that do the worst to you are the closest to you. So, like I said, this is alleged. I don't know exactly, so I don't want to accuse anybody or anything. But that's very sad that, you know, they took the older lady home from her daughter. So that's horrible.
All right, Brigitte.
So this is a thing of, you know, that her daughter is famous, or well known, I should say, and she's a media personality. And so if they have taken her mom, you know, it's unfortunate. And then why did they ask for Bitcoin and not just regular cash?
Hard to trace Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, so that's it. So it's just, you know, we don't have details, and then they said she's sick, and 24 hours, we're 3 days in. So I'm hoping that it all turns out for the better, and it's unfortunate.
Absolutely, and it's horrible when you take advantage of a senior citizen like that. Nate, now we're talking about Jill Biden's ex-husband.
Oh my God.
Take it away. Take it away.
I mean, the fact that Jill Biden's ex-husband is accused of murdering his wife, I mean, it's that fear again of, like, unfortunately for women, the person that is most likely to kill you is your intimate partner, and that's very scary. I know people that have dealt with a lot of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and financial abuse. So, you know, just ladies, I just say, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, like in relationships, have those boundaries firm and make sure you're not keeping those type of secrets from your close loved ones.
All right, Adam.
Well, they was divorced 45 years ago, right? So that's a long time ago, right? And then reading the story, it didn't disclose exactly what the crime was, even though he was convicted of first-degree murder, but they didn't say what it exactly was.
A nice first-degree murder.
Right, because he's 77, so if she was 77, a push and a fall could have been, you know.
All right, Brigitte, wrap us up on this.
I just say she dodged the bullet, Jill did, because she got out quick. And you know, they owned the bar or something, and she tried to get part ownership of it, and that didn't happen. So it was probably better on her behalf that she didn't get part of it, so she was done with him after the divorce.
All right, guys, thank you for the hot topics tonight. Still ahead on The Factor Uncensored. How much do you lean on AI? There are new concerns about how the tech can really mess up someone's mental health. Stay with us. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. As AI evolves, we're continuing to learn how it can affect us as humans. Now, according to a new study, interactions with generative AI like chatbots can make symptoms worse in people already at risk for psychosis. Researchers say AI doesn't cause these disorders, but say it could reinforce or trigger symptoms. And there aren't a lot of guidelines for how mental health professionals should even respond or deal with this problem. It's new, but there have been support groups created to help people who have suffered delusions brought on by AI. Therapist Dr. Nick Hardy is here with us to talk about it. So first of all, let's establish what psychosis is and how do you go to that as a result of AI?
Yeah, so you go to it as first of all, anything that's done in an extreme is going to be unhealthy. And I think especially when you introduce the online component, because you don't have the human interaction. And I think the more and more people divulge into just, being online, it does create this delusion to the point that you begin to believe things that aren't even real.
And there are some people out there who are actually dating AI.
Yes.
They go to AI as their therapist, as their friend, and it's getting scary.
It is. And one of the reasons that that's happening is because AI is just going to affirm what it is that you're saying. There's not much friction, there's not much tension. And so, again, it's almost like this perfect person where you're never challenged. They don't call you out on your things, on your stuff. They just respond based on what it is that you're feeding them. And we all have blind spots. And so we're going to feed them aspects of ourselves that, we want them to hear.
And of course, recently we saw where a teenager was encouraged to take his own life as a result of AI.
Yeah, it's imperfect. And again, that's the dangerous part, especially when we start, combining mental health and AI. There's so much that AI can do, but there's so much more that it can't do. And especially when you start thinking about the human element of empathy and just understanding the human experience. AI can't do it.
And when you see a loved one, a family member, a friend, dropping into that hole of reliance on AI, what should you do? How should you intervene? Because, as you said, that psychosis could be going on and taking complete control. How do you address that?
Yeah, well, I think they have to scale back from just being online, and so any ways that you can introduce them to more just human interaction, real life experiences. And typically, there's probably going to be a deeper issue. A lot of these people have been ostracized, and so they find comfort in...
That's a friend they didn't have.
Yes, there's somebody who gets it and who understands them. And so I think, again, I'm always going to recommend some type of mental health professional, not an AI, but an actual human being. But truthfully, just having conversations and, understanding their experience, what it is that they're going through, and what it is that they find in that AI companion.
But should you, as a parent or as a friend, step in the beginning and try to have that conversation with them and see what their state of mind may be?
Yeah, I think so. I think the sooner the better. And I think, again, just understanding what it is that they're experiencing can help, because you don't want to come in and antagonize them too soon, because then they're going to say, you know what, this is why I'm going towards AI, because they get me. So you don't want to come in and create division. You want to come in and just really listen and understand what it is that's making them gravitate towards AI.
But ultimately, if you see this, try to get them some professional help.
Absolutely. The sooner the better.
All right, Dr. Nick Hardy, thank you for joining us. It is a crazy situation out there. People are just relying on AI. It's mind-blowing. Thank you for joining us here. Now to this, District 18 has a newly elected Congress member, Christian Menifee. I spoke to him during his first full day on the job from Washington today. Joining us now from Washington, D.C., the man himself, Congressman Christian Menifee. Glad to have you on The Factor Uncensored, and congratulations. Have you had a chance to let it all sink in?
No, not at all.
Straight to work, huh?
That's right. So incredibly grateful to the folks in the district. We won Saturday night, but early Monday morning, I was on a flight to Washington, D.C. to do exactly what I promised to do on the campaign, which is get to work for the people of the district. So, no, it has not set in. Yes, I have been drinking from a fire hydrant, but this is what I asked for, and we're going to get to work.
And what has been your first order of business getting there when it comes to the people's work and legislation and voting or not voting on the partial government shutdown? What exactly has been your priority?
Well, I've been working hard behind the scenes trying to get our constituent services up and running because this is a district that has been without that type of work for so long. But when I got here, I immediately had to go down to the floor, get sworn in, address all the members of Congress, which is not typically something that happens. But because I came in on a special election, that's what I had to do. And then I was casting votes on whether to fund DHS when ICE agents are out in the street terrorizing communities and executing people. I was happy to cast a vote in opposition to that because I think we need to tear ICE down to the studs. And I look forward to continuing to be able to cast votes on behalf of the district.
All right, Congressman Christian Menifee, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and congratulations, and we appreciate your time tonight.
It still doesn't feel real, even with you calling me that. I appreciate it.
There you go. And we'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment.
This program is being brought to you by Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A new docu-reality series, Heels Down, is turning back the clock to the heyday of Houston nightlife, when the lights were bright, the music was loud, and people were making it rain. My next guests were strippers during that era, but today they've stepped off the pole and into powerful new chapters of their lives. They're entrepreneurs, they're professionals, and their success stories on their own terms. Joining us now, DeAndrea Washington, Ashley Clay, Chantel Gilmore, and Tammy Hampton. And in the background, we have Gemini and Honey, who are still in the industry here in Houston. Ladies, glad to have you here on The Factor.
Glad to be here.
Do you get like a cringe when I say stripper?
No, I don't.
I prefer a dancer.
See,
Yeah.
I saw it from the corner of my eye.
I prefer a dancer.
Okay. So when was the heyday for the nightlife here in Houston?
I would say the best nights was starting in 2008. That's my opinion.
That's like right after the Super Bowl and all of that, when Houston really got on the map, right, ladies?
Right.
And so it seemed to have disappeared kind of like during the pandemic, because there was a time when Atlanta was #1 and people were then transitioning to Houston, and a lot of athletes, a lot of celebrities. Now, I saw one of your bios and you said, one of you guys said Drake was a good customer and y'all danced for, come on now, don't be shy.
We dance for a lot of people. Like any celebrity has been in Houston, we dance for. Anybody you name, we dance.
And are the celebrities, the big names, cheap, or are they make it rain?
They gonna spend it.
I never take that from them. They gonna blow it bad.
And so when you guys were in the industry, was there ever a time where someone went too far with you and you said, oh, hell no?
Sometimes I went too far with people. Sometimes I went too far with people. So,
what does that look like, though?
Baby, he said he don't want you over here in the section, and the customer ain't even said that. I just don't want to make no money with her. You come over here. Seriously. Oh my God. But as I got better and I got, more experience in the game, I turned into a girl's girl, You don't want to be the girl that don't nobody like, because then you build a team against yourself. So,
and
I
we've
changed
heard
it.
the term almost like den mother, one who watches over. Did you ever see yourself transitioning or becoming that? Helping the girls?
You was like the mama. Yeah, you was like the mama.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I always had something to say. I got something to say. I have an opinion. I feel like, questions open doors, answers close them. So anything somebody wanted to know, ask me. I could tell you, baby, take them shoes off. That ain't gonna get it. That ain't gonna get it. That ain't it. That ain't it.
She gonna pop up with an outfit, baby. Put this outfit on. Put this hair in a bun. Do this.
That's not the right shoes right there, baby. We gotta do something about it.
And DeAndrea, in your time in the industry, what was the worst you've seen that you said, okay, maybe this is not for me anymore?
So I moved to LA back in my dancing days. I lived in LA for 4 years. I was working at a club called Ace of Diamonds. I was living in LA for 4 years. It was my birthday night one night. I became one of the known dancers there at the club. And a lot of guys would come out to see me. We only did it every Monday. Every Monday would be a really, really popping night. Every Monday we would have a guest celebrity there. They'll throw thousands and thousands of dollars on us. So we will make anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 on a Monday in LA.
Monday?
Yeah, on a Monday. And I celebrated my birthday there. And Black China came out and threw about, I think I left home that night with about $6,000 in my bag, and I was robbed.
Wow.
Yeah, I was robbed. Had a guy, was talking to some guys outside. Long story short, I was running my mouth too much, being a little too friendly, and snatching my bag. I tried to run after him. He held me at gunpoint. After that, I was just like, yeah, it's time for me to slow down.
Time for you
to slow down for a little bit.
And of course, you guys will share stories like this on your docu-series. What else can we expect in the last 20 seconds we have here?
A lot. Everything. The drama, the good, the bad, the ugly.
The ups and downs, the drinking, the drugs, the mental health issues that we all went through during life. Like it brings a lot of awareness to other dancers, not just us. It opened up doors for them as well.
We should have had you guys on for the whole half hour. Thank you for dropping by. Make sure to tune in to Heels Down only on the Det Network. We'll be right back. And ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for having us.
Sanchez. The Nightcap is a late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. So grab your drink and join us on the couch because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap, weeknights at 11:30 on Fox 26 and Fox Local.
And welcome back to The Factor. The ladies of Heels Down on the Det Network still here. And really quick, you have an event coming up. Tell us.
Yes, I have a mental health walk at Herman Park, and from 4 to 6 on February 21st.
February 21st.
Yes, sir.
All right. And of course, your name, business.
I'm Ashley, and I am a property manager now. So y'all be on the lookout for me. I might be a manager of one of your properties.
Tammy Hampton, but Tammy the Tiger, strip club consultant and strip club consultant and regular club consultant also.
DeAndrea, formerly known as Sammy Material, better known as Cooking Up with T. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Cooking Up with T.
All right, ladies, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us and the ladies behind us. They're on skates and everything. Have a good night. We'll see you back here next time.